Hello, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and we, in the last video, had just finished the investigator phase. We had gone 2 actions with both characters, and at this point in time, we're supposed to tell the app that the investigator phase is complete. So we are going to go ahead and do that right now. So once all your turns have been taken by your investigators, you've taken 2 each, and we have both William complete and Father, the priest. I had to just calling him the priest instead of the father. And essentially we're going to go ahead now and just end the investigator phase by hitting this button right here. It'll say, hey, do you want to end the investigator phase? Yes, I do. And now we enter the mythos phase. This is the nasty phase, and this is going to tell us what happens. So the sky on the horizon flashes briefly, and after a few moments you hear the distant rumble of thunder. No immediate effect. Hey, that's nice. So that means we go right back to the investigator phase with no effect. So that's good, but I guarantee you that knowing mythos phases and all this kind of stuff and encounters from previous Arkham Horror games and things of that nature, things are going to get ugly quick. So we do not want to dilly-dally around the mansion and do nothing. So let's get productive. So we've got William York next to that clue. It might be worth looking at. Now, if you want, at any point in time in the game, you're allowed to reference what it is referring to. So I don't remember exactly what this clue is referring to, so I can click on this question mark, and it'll let me know. It says, an end table stands against the wall holding a telephone. So now you know, before you go ahead and decide to search it, whether or not it's worth it. And because it's a table, in my point of view, I'm assuming something of values in the table, whereas looking at the painting like we did earlier or picking up some papers off the desk were probably the least of the 2 interesting things to take something from. This is probably the one that's going to have something hopefully decent. So I'm on his first turn, seeing as he's already in that particular room. I am going to search that room. Oh, and just so you guys are aware, it looks like I forgot to actually put a token here from the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. I think this is another opening of a door that we can go through. So I can go through this door, this door, this door, or this door, because I can see it here in the app. It's there. So I'm going to go ahead and William's going to search this particular spot right here, and we'll see what we find. So it says, you try the drawer, but warped wood has left it stuck shut. Use your strength. Hey, that's good, because William is our strongest character, who has a 4, and I don't have anything else that can increase that. So we're going to have to just go to the dice tray and hope we can pull off something decent. Now we're just looking for successes. We want elder signs, and we got 2 of them, and we also have the ability to flip 1 to a 3, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a clue. I'm going to expel 1 to turn this to 3 successes. We're going to bump this up in the app and continue. See what happens. It says, with a powerful tug, you open the drawer, causing the phone to go crashing to the ground. Inside the drawer, you find an item that looks like it has been sitting there for quite some time. Gain the Elder Sign Pendant common item, then discard this search token. Hey, that sounds amazing. So what you do is you go to this kind of what looks to be like a locked deck. It's essentially like your, oh no, sorry, that's a common item. My mistake. So this would be the common item pile here. And I'm going to have to do a one-handed search for this, but I'm sure I'll find it relatively quick, I hope. So let's see here. Elder 1, no, not that. What is it called again? Elder Sign Pendant. Interesting. Now, anything with an elder sign in the name when you're playing a game like Arkham Horror is a huge benefit. I'm sure it's going to do something positive for us. So maybe giving that extra clue away to bump it up to success level of 3 was a good idea, in that it'll likely prove to help us out quite a bit. Ah, here we go. Of course, it's like next to the bottom of the deck. So this is the card that we have gained, and it says, and this is what William has found, and it says it's an elder sign pendant. You roll 1 additional die when evading a monster. Awesome. So if we need to get away from a monster really quick, that elder sign is going to allow us to give, or is going to give us an extra die while we do so. So that's never a bad thing. And hey, an item is an item. I will take it when I'm going into this nasty mansion. So he essentially has now completed this, and you discard the search token. So the search token is now removed. So I'll put this back on the pile, and we're free to do what we want for our second action. So Williams here is quite happy. He's found himself the elder sign that he wants, and technically I could go through this door right here, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to explore into this area of the map. So I'm going to click on that and say the door leads deeper into the mansion. Ha, I like that. Let's go further in and see what we can find. So I'm going to go ahead and explore. Oh wow, that's a huge hallway. So it says the door opens into a dim hallway that winds through the heart of the mansion. Place the hall corner 2 and the hall end tiles as indicated and discard all explore tokens leading to this room. Wow, okay, so what I'm going to do here is try to grab those two. Let me see. We got, that's not it. What was it again? Hall corner 2 and hall end. Hall corner 2 and hall end. Oh, okay, I got one of them. And hall corner 2, got it. Okay, now we're just going to make sure we put them in the right spots. So from what I'm understanding, this tile here is going to, we now remove this token because this was what we used to explore further into the mansion. This is going to sit like so. And then this one here is going to sit like so. Now the interesting thing about this, you'll notice when I hit continue, we only went through this door connection right here, and that's where we chose in the app. When I hit continue, you'll notice the other one over here is gone now. So because this second tile that happened to get opened up when I opened the door actually revealed this, and because it's revealed now, the explore token no longer is there. We essentially know what's in that room. But it's all set up now, so this mansion is starting to grow. We've got ourselves kind of like some interesting carpet rugs and papers all over here, and some, looks like a book, desk over here with a chair. But this will tell us some more. So it says a wooden desk stands against the wall. Place a search token is indicated. So we'll take a search token and we can go searching into the desk to see if there's anything interesting there. Someone acting in a hurry has knocked over a stack of papers. Please place a search token as indicated. So we take a search token and drop it near the stack of papers. Hit continue again. 3 doors lead into other rooms of the mansion. Place explore tokens. Wow, that's a lot of different options. So this is really starting to where the game starts to open up. And again, like, who knows what is a good door to open and what is not. But there you go. We've got red options everywhere of different areas where we can go exploring. What else? What else is in there? You could use the surrounding furniture to barricade the door should the need arise. Okay, whenever they start saying that the need could arise to barricade a door, I start getting a little concerned about a particular area. Like, when they happen to put a barricade next to a door like that, I'm going, okay, there's got to be a legitimate reason why something nasty is coming through there at some point in time. And it says you may move 1 space into the explored area. So this is interesting. You might think, okay, well, I was in this room and I used an action to explore. It revealed this whole tile, but that only used one of my actions. I still technically have, oh no, sorry, I don't have any more actions. Sorry, because we ended up getting the Elder Sign pendant from the desk that was here, that was the first action. The second action actually was to explore. So essentially all my actions are burned, but the cool thing is when it says something like this does not count as an action. It says you may move 1 space into explored area. You are just allowed to do so. So if you want to, it's a you may. You don't have to. So you can look at this and go, well, I just talked about something nasty potentially coming out of this door and there's a barricade there. Maybe I don't want to be in the hallway. But for me, I want to get going, and I want to I also want to try to cover as much ground as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and use that you may move 1 space to get into the explored area only. Okay, so then it's done. Now we can go back to the other character, because now William's turn is completely done, and now the father here has the ability to just actually walk into the room and doesn't have to explore anything. So he's going to do so. He's going to use 1 movement to get into his room, and of course he's going to go rifling through this search token. So he's going to click on the search token. We'll see what happens. It's a stack of paper strewn about the floor. It says, amidst the mundane paperwork, you find a weathered page covered in a strange script. Someone has scrawled a note in the English across the top of the page. Speak these words for great power. Yikes. Okay, so essentially if we go ahead and we speak something nasty, some type of script, we are going to gain some type of crazy power. Now, it sounds a little too easy to me. We can either recite the script or we can return the papers. Question of the day. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? This seems like a trick question to me. If I go ahead and take this, I feel like something nasty is going to come busting through one of these doors and just devour me. But I'm so tempted to hit that recite the script button, so I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so we're going to hit the recite the script because I can't just return the papers. I'm too interested now. It says the eldritch words take on a life of their own as you speak them, reshaping your mind with new understanding of the script you are looking at. The lights flicker and you hear a whisper in your ear. Power comes with a price. Gain the wither spell and then discard the search token. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad, although gaining a wither spell may or may not be good. So we'll put that next to the father here. Now the cool thing is the wither spell is actually a ranged attack. That's really cool. And whenever it talks about ranged attack, it's anything within 3 within 3 spaces, and of course you can't go through doors and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually pretty cool and can do quite a bit of damage. So that'll come in handy for sure, but it does say here, as the spell takes effect, the victim's body withers and mummifies, and to me that I don't see there's a downside to that. There has to be. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue, and then of course that search token is removed from the app and it's registered the fact it's gone. So that's essentially it. I was 1 and I searched for 2. That's it. We are done our turns. So then we go here to end the investigator phase and find out what happens during the mythos phase. The sky becomes blood red, though neither the sun nor moon is visible in the sky. No immediate effect. Wow. Okay, so 2 turns in a row of nothing happen. Never mind. Okay, so you hear a blood-curdling scream and the sound of tearing flesh from another room, and then silence. You have a feeling you are too late to save the butler. Oh my gosh. Okay, so apparently the banging and stuff around in that room over there was the butler, and we were terrible people and decided to go exploring elsewhere, and he got ripped to shreds, we think. It says you have a feeling you are too late to save the butler, not that necessarily he's dead. Each investigator suffers to horror. Oh, wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and pull these one at a time. Now, these do not state their face down, so they're going to be coming at us face up, which isn't always pleasant because it could have effects that could occur right away. So I'm going to go ahead and pull Williams first. He's got to take 2 each. He's got hysteria. So it says, screaming hysterically, you claw at your own flesh with your nails. That seems like a really normal reaction when someone dies in another room. Resolve immediately. Flip 1 damage face up, then flip this card face down. Okay, the good thing is we don't have any damage on us. So that card just ends up being flipped back down. It's going to hit us for 1 sanity off our 7, but the good thing is we didn't have any face down damage, otherwise it would flip over and we'd resolve its effect. So that was nice. Although that was still bad. Flashback. Recent memories claw their way to the surface despite your best efforts. Resolve immediately. Flip 1 other horror face up, then discard this card. Okay, so that's cool because essentially by putting this down, you flip up the other horror that we already did. This takes effect again, and we don't have any damage, so this goes back down. So this one, the flashback though, says then discard this card. So this card goes away, whereas this one just gets flipped back down. So there's a lot of management with these cards in terms of their effects, and that's one thing that's very, very different than many of the other games I played in this type of realm in terms of Eldritch and Arkham Horror. The card game, there's a lot of flipping I find between the damage and sanity, so things can get real nasty real quick. It's almost like a chain reaction of insanity. Like you can pull a card that says flip something else, and that card says flip something else, and next thing you know, you've got you're triggering off just an insane amount of bad things happening. So again, getting rid of those face down cards or even face up cards is always a good thing. So now we're going to take 2 sanity damage coming at the father, or the priest I should say. Let's see what we get. So we get focus. Aquilia, if I'm even pronouncing that, I can't even pronounce that correctly. You cannot seem to put the letters or numbers in their proper order. You know you had this skill once, but it has deserted you. Keep face up. Roll 1 fewer die when resolving a lore test. No, so it's essentially going to hurt us from being able to concentrate on letters and numbers. So essentially it's affecting our lore check, which actually makes thematic sense. So that's nasty. That's something we want to get rid of off him as soon as we can. And we got to pull another one. Oh my gosh, so many terrible things happening. Frayed nerves. Now that actually makes sense in terms of what just occurred with the potentially the butler there. You breathe deeply, but it fails to restore your calm. You feel as if the slightest thing will push you over the edge. Keep face up. Wow, he is getting pounded. Roll 1 fewer die when resolving a will test. So now he's got 2 face-up cards, which are all going to penalize him when doing checks. That's nasty. So he got the brunt of that sanity hit versus William, who seemed to get through scathe free. So he's lucky that way. And we can go ahead and hit continue and move on. Oh my dear. A creature bursts into the lobby, of course, from the direction of the scream. If the door is blocked by a barricade, discard that barricade. The creature's black serpentine body shifts and changes, playing tricks on your eyes as you try to focus on it. The creature unfurls its leathery wings and unleashes a blood-curdling screech. Spawn a hunting horror as indicated. Ugh. Okay, so that is going to be this guy. He's nasty. He's busted his way in through the door. He's a big guy. And he's not happy about what's going on. So at this point, we spawn him, and that is it. We hit continue. So it says here, the haunting horror moves 3 spaces toward the investigator within range with the most items, and then attacks that of an investigator. So how this would work is when it talks about within range, it's always talking within 3 spaces at a maximum. So, but it doesn't go through walls and doors and things like that. So for instance, we're in a hallway here with the priest, and we're in a hallway here with William York. So they're both actually outside of the range, essentially, of this hunting horror. So they're actually not in range. So even when it says whether you're in range or not, it would typically mean if I was in this room here within range, or maybe if the monster was in a hallway and then they could get to me with a number of movement. But as of right now, because we're through doors and into other parts of the mansion, it's not within range. So it either tells me I can either choose that the monster attacks or no investigators are within range. And being that is the case, we're lucky, no investigators are in range. And it'll tell you what else to do. So as the creature opens its mouth and breathes in, tasting the air, catching the scent of prey, the creature shrieks and slithers through the air. The hunting horror moves 3 spaces toward the nearest investigator. Now, the nasty thing about this is essentially we have, he's here, and at this point now the doors don't matter. He's just going to go towards whoever's nearest. So he can go 1, 2, or he can go 1, 2. So they're even regardless. Now, the previous thing said it would go after who's got the most items, but that no longer applies because now it's just saying move to the nearest investigator. So at this point, I believe we get the choice as to where this monster is going to land, and I would probably rather have him go after... I'd probably actually have him rather go after... oh, geez, this is tough. We could... Let me see. I'm gonna have him go after William York because he's just a stronger character and he's got some clues. He's got some decent things that could help him out. I know that we have Wither spell on the father and on the priest, and that could be good because he can do some damage. But we do still have the whiskey and the cross and some other things and stuff like that. So I think I've got, and he's also got a boost in his will. He should be okay. So I'm gonna choose to have this guy go 1, 2. He's coming all the way over, and he's going to sit here coming after William. He's found him. And that's essentially it. So the cool thing with this is it just says it moves up to 3 spaces toward the nearest investigator, which I just did. And then that's it. Now, the only thing I have to worry about, because I wasn't in range, if I had been in here and the monster had been here, he would have moved in and then attacked me. But because I was in another part of the house, all he got to do is get up close to me, and through a door, and got up close to me. And at this point, the only thing I have to worry about is this text right here. It says, each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating. After all horror checks have been resolved, tap the end phase button to continue. So this is where poor William here is going to have to take some, to do a horror check. So essentially what you do is you hit continue, and then you just hit on the monster that's currently on the table, and it says resolve a horror check. Yes, and I'm going to do this for William. So bracing its body against the ground, the abomination heaves and coughs and vomits an unending torrent of blood. Oh, that's gross. The coppery smell overwhelms you. We're looking for a will check of 2. So we need to get a will check of 2, and we know we have the Holy Cross with us, which will give us an extra die on our will of 5. So that means we're rolling 5 dice, and we're just looking for 2. So chances are we're probably going to be okay, but dice are pretty random. Hey, look at that, we got our 2, so we're all right. If you pass, you suffer only some mild nausea, suffer 1 face down horror, and become dazed. Oh geez, so we still got a nasty. So it's face down though, so we'll put this over here. Now that's face down horror, so we got 2 face down horror on him. And it also says we become dazed, which is unfortunate. So I'm just gonna go through this deck here until I find a dazed card. Oh shoot, these are spells. My mistake, that's the wrong pile. Or is that the wrong pile? No, that's right, isn't it? I think. Yeah, I think that's the right pile. Let's see, instill bravery, shriveling, insane. Oh no, these are spells. Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. I'm making a mess. Okay, where is it? Oh, it's in here, right. Oh, I've got the flare gun in the wrong spot. That's what's throwing me off. This is a item card. This should not be here. Sorry guys, I had the flare gun in the wrong deck of cards, and that was what was throwing me off. I was like, what the heck? Okay, sorry. All right, we got things squared away now. Okay, so we're looking for days. This is what we're looking for. There we go. So the days is going to now affect William. So he is now dazed. It says you cannot spend clues to convert dice results or perform additional puzzle steps. But at the end of your turn, you can discard the card. So that's going to affect us like right away. So I'll just put this right on his card so I don't forget. We'll put this deck back. So this is a really nasty deck of effects that can really mess with you, and it's never a good thing per se. So that's it. We are done. Now the only other thing that I'm going to leave for now, I'm probably going to end the video here because I think this will be the end of the Mythos phase. It does say something, and I want to double check this in the rules myself, but it says that in the prior one here, it said that essentially the horror check would affect everyone within range. Now, when we're in a hallway, this hallway is connected. So my assumption is within range means 1, 2, 3. So I would assume that the father's actually within range of the hunting horror. So the hunting horror would actually affect the father because there's no door barrier blocking the range. So I'm going to have to pull a... I'm going to have the same situation, or do a check against the priest as well. So how you do that is you click this and it says resolve a horror check. And this was based on the fact that I'm within range. So I will double check that after the video just to be 100% sure. But because this hallway is considered open and this is not a door, he is 1, 2, 3 away. So I'm going to resolve that horror check against the priest now. And it says bracing its body against the ground, the abomination heaves and coughs and vomits an unending torrent of blood. Oh, looks like the exact same check. So the coppery smell overwhelms you. So again, we have a will of 5, but we have to also remember that our frayed nerves are causing us to roll 1 fewer die when we're resolving a will check. So that's nasty. So essentially we're down to just 4 dice, which isn't terrible, but we still just need 2 to succeed at this. We got 3, so that's way more than enough, and we get the exact same type of situation as what happened to William. So we end up getting 1 face down horror, which is bad because now we've already got 3 sanity hits against the priest so far, which is quite a bit. He's got 1 face down one here, and then he's also dazed. So now we've got 2 characters that are dazed, which is bad because that's going to slow them both down. So let me just keep going here until I find a dazed card. Here we go. So this character is now dazed as well. Same effect as what we had read with William. So this thing has come in and just messed with our heads, and we're going to be all out of whack when we go into the next round. So that's essentially it. That is the end of that particular situation. So now at this point, we just go ahead and hit the arrow to say that we're done with the Mythos phase, thank goodness, because that was terrifying, and we move into the investigator phase. And at this point, it's a perfect time to stop. So guys, I hope you're liking the video. I hope you're enjoying it. It's quite entertaining. I do apologize 100% for not having the sound on the app. I can tell you right now, like if you're playing this game thematically from a solo perspective, it's super cool to have really crazy dark music going on when you're playing this because it really adds to it. And the app does do a really good job of making banging, crashing sounds when it's talking about over here and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's really cool. I've turned it off just because I don't want to get in any trouble for copyright or anything like that. But I can tell you it adds a lot. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you have any suggestions on what I should do next, I want to hear it. So take a look at the game board as I kind of go over here and let me know what you think my next action should be. This is the father's setup right now, and this is William's. Until the next episode, guys, thanks for watching as always, and keep rolling solo.